What's up guys, my name is Konner, and in this video we'll be breaking down some chord moves that every musician and songwriter should know, as well as a very simple concept that will double the amount of chords you can use in any key. As any seasoned songwriter knows, as you progress from the beginner to the intermediate level, you eventually start to feel like you're stuck with the same small handful of chords. It seems like better chords are just hopelessly out of reach for your skill level. But today I'm here to tell you that doesn't have to be the case. Today we're going to cover 3 intermediate level chord moves that sound absolutely beautiful and super professional, but are shockingly easy to use. I'll break down exactly what they are and provide concrete examples for exactly how you can use them in your own music making. But before we dissect these chord moves, I need to tell you about a big scary phrase called modal interchange. This is the concept of using chords from a different scale or mode that starts on the same tonic or beginning note. So in English, here's how we can do this. If we're in the key of C major, the easiest way to apply this concept is to use chords from the C natural minor scale in our progression. All 3 of the examples in this video are going to use this concept, and at the end of the video I'll show you how you can expand it even further and basically double your chord vocabulary in one fell swoop. So the first chord we're going to talk about is the minor 5 chord. Basically all you have to do is take the 5th chord in the major scale and you make it minor by lowering the 3rd. In the key of C, our 5th chord is going to be G major. If you lower the middle note, B, to B flat, you get a G minor chord instead, hence the minor 5. As we saw earlier, the C natural minor scale includes a B flat, so following our fancy modal interchange concept, this chord is taken directly from that scale. This chord sounds great following the 1 chord. So in the key of C, going from a C major chord to a G minor chord. Arguably the most famous example of this is a song you might recognize. This song is Clocks by Coldplay, and the progression is as follows: 1, minor 5, minor 5, minor 2. So they really hug the minor 5 chord in this progression. Here's what this looks like if it's transposed to the key of C. So the moral of the story is, wherever you have a 1 chord, if you want some unexpected somber and melancholy movement, you can very easily follow it with a minor 5 chord. I'll give you one more example, but just to mix things up, instead of going from the 1 to the minor 5, I'll go from the minor 6 to the minor 5. And here's what that looks like. As you can hear, it's an absolutely beautiful chord. It works especially well in sad piano ballads and acoustic guitar songs. But if you're looking for something a little more uplifting and positive, this next chord is maybe my favorite chord ever, if you can even pick such a thing. It's the flat 7 chord. To get this chord, you go up to the 7th scale degree in the major scale, which is B in the key of C. And then you lower it by a half step, so B becomes B flat. And then you just play the major chord that starts on that note, so in this case, B flat major. Once again, looking at this through the lens of modal interchange, you'll see that the C natural minor scale includes a B flat as well as a D and F natural, so this chord is once again taken directly from that scale. Now this is a super easy way to add a sort of Disney-esque theatrical element into your song. It's a major chord, so inherently it sounds somewhat uplifting, but for me, the flat 7 has a big question mark next to it. I'm happy, but am I really happy? I think the perfect example of this is the song Breathe by Nalick, where she actually uses this chord in 2 different contexts. The first is in the verse. So in this section, she starts with the 1 chord, then the flat 7, and then the 4. That's a very, very common chord move that's super easy to use.
2 a.m. and she calls me 'cause I'm still awake. Can you help me?
Here's what it looks like in the key of C. The second place where she uses it is in the chorus, where she actually starts with the flat 7 chord before sending it to the 4 and resolving it to the 1.
And breathe.
To me, the question feel of the flat 7, passing through the 4 into the very resolved sounding 1, really makes it feel like she's finding peace through allowing herself to breathe. And here's what that looks like in the key of C. One thing I like to do is play the flat 7 over the 4 root before resolving to the 4 chord. In the key of C, that means I'd play a B flat chord with F as the lowest note, and then keep the F in the bass as I go to an F chord. Here's a short progression to demonstrate that. And just as a bonus tip, you can combine the two previous tips. Since both the minor 5 and the flat 7 chord share the same flat 7 scale degree, B flat in the key of C, these chords sound great together. Here's an example. If you like the theatrical aesthetic of these chords and you want to push that sound to the next level, the final chord move we're discussing today will help you do just that. This move actually works in conjunction with the flat 7 chord. All you have to do is put a flat 6 chord before it. So as always, we'll go to the key of C to look at this. The 6th scale degree is A. So to make it flat, we bring that down a half step to A flat. And then just play that major chord, A flat major. Once again, A flat, C, and E flat are all in our C natural minor scale. So this follows our modal interchange concept. So the easiest way to use this chord is to push the flat 6 up to the flat 7, up to the 1. There is a very famous song from the mid-90s that's almost entirely built around this specific chord move. Check this out. That progression is very simply 1, flat 6, flat 7, back to the 1. Here's how it looks in the key of C. So that's one way to use it, but let's push it a step further. Remember back in the distant past about a couple minutes ago when we talked about the minor 5 chord? I personally think that the flat 6 chord moves into that minor 5 beautifully, and I love daisy chaining those chords together. Here's how that sounds. So as you can see, each of these chords is beautiful, really not that hard to use, and will make your music stand out from the never-ending sea of artists who are trapped in major key jail. But let's push it a little further. We've been talking loosely about modal interchange, but check this out. On the left is a list of the diatonic chords in the key of C. That means the chords directly from the major scale. I've excluded the B diminished chord because, frankly, it's trickier to use. On the right is a list of the diatonic chords built from the C natural minor scale or the E flat major scale. They're more or less the same thing. Once again, we're excluding the diminished chord, which in this case is D diminished. You can mix any of these chords into your C major chord progression at any time, and as long as it sounds good, you win. It's just 6 extra fancy tools for your toolkit. Here's one example. And here's one more. The possibilities here are endless. The only limit is your creativity and your imagination. If you liked this breakdown and you want to learn more about how to better yourself as a songwriter, please subscribe to this channel for more videos like this one. And if this video felt maybe a little advanced and you want a more basic overview or a refresher of chord theory and how to understand which chords to use, check out the definitive beginner's guide right here. And I'll see you guys in the next one.